Oh, I see the wake right away as it hits the water. Heading towards lure. There it goes. Oh, that is fun. He was just tucked right up in there. That was fun to watch. Oh, that one gave me goosebumps. It's summer vacation. Bright and early on the first morning. Look at that lake. So Lake Vermilion is our choice of summer hangout when we take some time off. And this is day one of what will be a longer vacation than normal. We're still in 2020 and the COVID stuff going on. So when it warmed up, we decided to come up to Lake Vermilion for a little while. It is mid to late June and we'll be staying through the 4th of July. So we'll probably have a handful of Lake Vermilion episodes. And this first one is gonna be bass, smallmouth bass. And got very favorable conditions for some topwater, which is one of my favorite things to do. And we're gonna see if we can find that elusive 20-incher, which this lake has plenty of. And every year I seem to find one or two. Hopefully it'll be this morning. So we're gonna make a little run. We're gonna head to the east side of the lake. For those of you who watched my opener episode, you probably recognize that we're in Pike Bay on Lake Vermilion on the tower side. And I'm gonna go further east and find some boulders, reeds, things like that bass are up shallow in. And we'll see if they're in there and get some in the boat. Let's get going. Trusty 6.5 foot rod this morning with the old jitter pop. Old trusty Rapala, one of my favorites. Surface over there. They're down there. I think we'll get one or two in here. It is so bassy. Lots of rocks and reeds in here. Of course I know of this spot. I've been here before. And I've caught bass in here before. Lots of them. Literally only have the camera off for 2 minutes and I get my bite here. First fish of the morning. He ain't gonna be a big one, but it's a good start. Gets your heart pumping. Not the big ones we're looking for. Side swiped it. That was a really aggressive bite, which is encouraging. So 13, 14-incher to start. Just pitching it on shorelines with rocks and reeds right now, seeing if that's where they're at. Water temps around 65 to 68 degrees this morning. And you can see it's just dead calm. I mean, it's perfect for top water. Just perfect. Might have found a shoreline here with a few of them. There we go. There we go. This is a better one. Oh! Be a bass. Jump out of the water. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. If you have never caught a smallmouth bass or chased these fish, they are so much fun. They come smack in that top water and scare you half to death, and then jump out of the water. I'm going to try to do this without a net here. This is the size we like to see. That's better. Still not your 18 to 20 incher, but I bet you that's more around the 16-inch range. That's exactly what it is, just over 16. Let's keep it rolling. I'm gonna have to get my sunglasses on here. Jeez. There we go. There we go. Fat toads. They come up in these shallows. Some of them live up in these shallows and some of them travel back and forth, but they're chasing crawfish up in these rocks. And when they're up here chasing crawfish, they will kind of go for anything. And this is where ultimately people will ask me, what do you use? And I tell them anything you're comfortable with ultimately, because I'm not sure they know exactly what they're going for or seeing on top of the water when they see your lure. All they know is it's food and they want to eat it because they're just active, they're feeding. So I like this frog looking, or anything frog looking generally, because that's pretty natural. But I think they'll go for just about anything. Yeah, another one of those 15, 16 inchers. Gosh, they're fun. Gosh, you guys are fun. Love these Vermilion bass. Love them. Oh, let's see the wake right away as it hits the water. Heading towards the lure. There it goes. Oh, that is fun. He was just tucked right up in there. That was fun to watch. Oh, that one gave me goosebumps. Another decent one. Yeah, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting. So Lake Vermilion is just full of excellent smallmouth bass habitat. And when you get conditions right, June is when these topwater conditions really start improving and getting really good, it can just be game on. I don't know if it's going to be one of those mornings yet, we'll see, but sometimes you can just like hit a shoreline and feel like you're the bass master. You know where all the bass are, and then there's other mornings you go to hit the same shoreline and they're not there. So it's all about TOW, time on the water. Oh, he's spitting out his food. We know you're up there eating crawfish. We know it. Let's see if I can get him. Oh yeah, that's definitely the biggest of the morning. That's a nice one. Not to get this in. Still not the 20, but 17 and a half. They're getting a little bigger. Timing is always everything, but fishermen like me can't always pick and choose when to fish, really. Sometimes when to fish picks you. And so you just take advantage of the time you have. This is mid to late June, even early July at times, and on Lake Vermilion, top watering can be just excellent. And I've found it's a mixture between reeds and rocks, rocks and docks, or reeds and docks. You know, always rocks are a little bit in play because the crawfish are in there and they're chasing crawfish, but usually find that combination, and sometimes they're tucked in shallow. That fish was tucked right in a pocket. I could see where his wake started. I mean, he waked. There was a wake in the water to it. And so he must have been like a foot of water, if that. Just in there waiting, probably. All right, let's quit talking. Catch some more fish. Never set the hook too soon. All the top watering, one of the key rules that I have to always tell myself for as much as I top water, and feel like I've gotten better at it. Don't set the hook till you feel the pressure from the fish. That's hard. Because you see that splash and you think, set the hook, set the hook. Ah. He must have touched the lure. He didn't go for it again. There we go. Again, way shallow. Way shallow. This guy's smaller. He's a bit smaller. Ooh. I'm nervous about getting hooked. Yeah, he's bigger than I thought he was. I mean, this guy, you know they're up in the rocks and live up there when their mouth is beat up like this. Look at that mouth. I don't know how well you can see, it's just all tore up all over, even his tongue. And then he's just up chasing crawfish, shallow. And you've been doing it for a while, haven't you, buddy? It's probably a 15-incher. That's good average. I mean, you know, it's not your pictures that you see on Facebook of these guys holding up these, you know, 422 inchers, you know. But, you know, you start averaging 15, 16, 17-inch bass, and they fight, and they are fun. Ooh. And if you're all about catching them, you can have a follow-up lure. And on Lake Vermilion, I like to use, you know, something that looks crayfishy and suspended. That's what this is. This will suspend. And you know, if I miss the bass and I'm all about just catching the bass, or it was a big one and I feel like they might not bite again, I'll follow up with this behind it and sometimes get it, you know, just something different. You're obviously in there active. And yeah, let's start seeing if we can get that big one now. I've been trying already. Let's keep trying. Quit talking. Get fishing. I saw him surface a couple times by that rock, and I think I just blew my chance. He didn't touch the lure, but he swung and missed. There he goes. Oh man, and that was a beautiful strike. He came right up out of the water. Mornings like this where you catch a bunch of fish and then you lose one like that. It's still a little frustrating, but fun. I doubt I'll get him again. There we go, tucked up into a pocket. So when you're targeting these bass shallow, you want to picture what might be under the water, unless you can see it. If you can see it, that helps. These bass like to tuck around the rocks, and they're always chasing something, but they're ambush fish too, so they'll hide around rocks, hide in pockets. I like to target things that look like a pocket outside of the water, but then of course there's the pockets you can't see under the water. And when the conditions are right, bass will be there. If there's food there, bass will be there. And again, these bass are up feeding on crayfish. Lake Vermilion has a lot of them, a lot of crayfish. We'll keep putzing around looking for that bigger one, but we're having fun in the meantime. Lots of fun. There's a cast in there. Well, I switched it up a little bit here and I put on the old crayfish. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. Facing the wind here. Still in really shallow water, but the wind picked up, so top water isn't good on water that's wrinkly. Look at this guy. Yeah, look at that guy. There we go. He's not a 20. Still a good one. 16. There we go. There we go, make babies. So I'm still targeting bass with topwater, but I came through a section here where I had to kind of scoot through, and it's all wrinkly water on top because the wind's picked up a little bit. And topwater is not really the greatest lure to use when there's waves on the water. So we'll get around the corner here and we'll start topwatering again. Whoa. I don't know if it's big or not, but that was an exciting strike. It had to have been 6 inches of water that thing was hiding in. Yeah, that's a decent one. We'll take him. Let's get him in first. I've been on a stretch here of losing fish. Come on, big boy. Ooh. I might net this one. So much joy and fun for just a fish. Yeah. Yeah, that's been one of the bigger ones today. And again, he was literally in just 6 inches of water. If there was a pattern today, it was really shallow water. We're gonna end on this fish. It was a fantastic morning, just fantastic. This video is not gonna be able to show all the fish that I caught today. I would say the average was around 15 to 16 inches. This is a little bit bigger than the average I've been getting, but this is about 16 maybe. And you know, we didn't get the 20 incher this morning, but you know, when you catch 15 fish on top water, that's a fun morning. And when most of them are 15 inches, you know, 17 incher here and a few 16 inchers there, man, doesn't get any better than that. A couple quick tips for topwater. First of all, you don't need any fancy equipment. As you saw, I've been using my open face reel. It's a rod that I use pretty much for everything. It's my 6.5 footer. I'm more accurate with that shorter rod than the 7-foot rod. I'm gonna let her go. And so use what you're comfortable with, because this is all about accuracy and hitting spots. It's high percentage casts. In other words, you get to an area and you see boulders and you see reeds and you see how things kind of come together and create pockets and potential areas where the bass might be in feeding, and that's the spots you're hitting. And every time you're out, it's just a little bit different. Today, the strike zone was pretty much the first 5 feet from the shore and in really shallow water. And then other days, it's a little bit out from shore. It just depends on how they're feeding and what they're doing. But this morning, it was close to shore, in rocks. They were probably in really feeding hard on crayfish. And you don't need to go fancy on a topwater. Again, I use the Rapala, I think it's called the Jitter Pop. You know, the beautiful thing about topwater fishing is you don't have to spend a lot of money for it. You only need 1 or 2 lures, maybe 2 different kinds of profiles to start out with. It's all about TOW, time on the water, getting the high percentage casts in the spots where the bass actually are gonna be. And I am pretty confident you can take just about any topwater and put it where a bass is, and you'll probably get a strike. High percentage times is morning and evening, but that isn't just because of low light, which ups your chances anyway. I think it's also because of little to no wind, and you have the calm glass lake, which is what you need. Once you start getting ripples, I don't think the fish can really tell the difference between the ripples and whatever lure you're using in that contrast. So I have literally fished throughout the middle of the day with glass water and caught bass topwatering all day. So they certainly will do it. You need to be stealthier in the daytime because they can see better. So get your gear together and get out and chase some fish. Do it with topwater. Have some fun. If you haven't done it before, you will have a blast, and your heart will get up in your throat when that first hit happens and they bust out of the water and give you a heart attack. So until next time, get out there and hit that body of water nearby. Find some bass you can do some topwater. This works great for largemouth and smallmouth bass, and have some fun with it. I'm Nathaniel, just your ordinary fisherman, out having fun in Lake Vermilion. God bless, and tight lines. There we go. Oh, that was a bigger one. Oh, doggone it. Doggone it. Thanks for watching another episode of The Ordinary Fisherman. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the notifications so that you will know when we're out on our next adventure. Now go out there and catch some fish. Tight lines. When they're on the hook for a couple seconds, they ain't coming back.